I'm more than halfway done on this kilo here. I didn't get to play as much yesterday. Still paying attention to Ari and Alexis. Had a doctor's appointment and stuff to do yesterday, so I just kept an eye on everyone yesterday. So today, I'll probably be able to at least finish out this kilo and then start on the foul. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes end up putting a balancing patch out around this time, either here or at the beginning of another season. I'm not entirely sure if they're gonna nerf or do anything with the foul by the time I make it to it, but I hope not. I know it's running rampant in Warzone and everything, so most of the weapons in the game that I ended up getting Obsidian for actually have most of those calling cards. I'll probably have like half of them done. No, I'm not doing the rest of it for that actual final calling card. I'm good. Might actually try to play some Warzone at this point. So actually, yeah, to go and talk about the thing I was planning on anyway. So actually ended up playing Warzone and I did my challenges and stuff. I played with Dirty, the usual group I would end up playing with in Warzone most of the time anyway, just because, you know, people that I'm most familiar with and anyone that actually even plays Warzone anyway. Yeah, I mean, my closest friends haven't touched Call of Duty in years. Shane still plays SRK and everything, but, you know, everybody else, no one's playing. And he's not playing Warzone either, so I begrudgingly ended up getting onto Warzone. I only had like a couple highlights, not enough to really, you know, warrant anything, but after I'm done with all this, I'll definitely try to play some Warzone. I mean, Warzone videos are definitely fun to make. A full-blown squad wipe and everything by yourself. It's like a highlight and stuff like that. Like, it's easier than it seems, but it's always nice to be able to actually play something that people are impressed by instead of, you know, sweating my ass off to get, like, you know, multiple 6-on screens and stuff and no one even bats an eye. That's what it felt like, you know, being from the montage scene. You could spend like 8 months making a montage with ridiculous clips that other people aren't even close to hitting, especially not the average player anyway. They'll watch it, be like, yeah, that's nice, and then proceed to PogChamp at their favorite streamer getting double kills. I still had the same stupid challenges I needed to do. I needed to complete like 15 or 20 contracts or something like that, and then I needed to get a bunch of ammo and armor crates. Not just set them down and distribute them. I had to actually buy them from the kiosk. The hardest one of all of them was one that I couldn't do by myself, because even when I tried to play, you know, by myself and just have Phil or whatever, even in duos, trios, quads, I went in the quads because I thought it would be the easiest, you know, to be able to actually complete this challenge. The hardest challenge that I needed to do was revive 15 of my teammates at the kiosk. Not just pick them up, I mean actually full-blown revive them after they got killed. But the issue is, whenever I'm playing by myself, no one has any faith in Phil at all. Whenever you fill in random teammates, they're not there for you. They're there to have you there. Basically, anyone that ends up queuing the Phil modes, they're not trying to make friends. They're basically just trying to have strength in numbers with no communication and hope that you're able to sponge some damage for them. Which I absolutely understand. It's fine. I get it. People play the game casually. I mean, it is a casual game. It's Call of Duty. Unless you're playing at like the actual pro level stuff, it's casual. We know. There's no actual pro Warzone or anything like that, so it's just, you know. Yeah, Dirty ended up getting himself killed like multiple times a game just for me to be able to revive him and everything so I could get the challenge done. So shout out to Dirty. FaZe Dirty, man. The dude's a legend. He is always there whenever I need him. He is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. So yeah, there's the emblem right there. It's the Season 4 10 emblem. I obviously could unlock these within just a few days of the actual season coming out. You know, you can hit level 155, especially with double XP tokens and stuff like that within, it's only 155 levels. We don't have all the prestiges and stuff like that. Most people hit max within the, you know, the first week on average, I guess. Depends how much you truly want to torture yourself, I guess, with the hackers and everything else going on. But yeah, so Warzone, revive a teammate 15 times from using the kiosk. Yeah, I just had everybody drop me all of their money and stuff as much as possible just so I could do the challenges. I did them. Then I had to get up early for, you know, Alexis's appointment and everything. So we got that done. It's out of the way. We don't have to worry about missing that, because I am going to be so upset that if I manage to be the person that gets Damascus, Obsidian for all the weapons, a stupid amount of calling cards, all of this completionist stuff, and then in the one time in Peak Depression Season 4, 2020, I managed to miss one challenge to get revives in Warzone. I wasn't gonna let that happen. So I begrudgingly got on there. It was actually admittedly pretty fun, and I would have played longer if I didn't have stuff that I needed to do, but yeah, shout out to those guys. So that's all done. Also, the UFC is put out a trailer for the career mode for UFC 4. Well, I've been kind of like on the fence, more so even leaning. UFC 4 basically is like UFC 3. There's obviously those complaints about graphics and how models and certain characters look a certain way, they don't look accurate or whatever it is, but past all of that, ended up putting out the career mode trailer, which they've apparently completely overhauled, and yeah, it actually looks pretty good. This is basically my reaction right here. It looks good. it actually looks really good. The career mode, it basically looks like UFC 3's career mode, but a lot more in-depth and what you would kind of hope to get from a career mode. You kind of have a story, you kind of have like a thing where you kind of lead up to what you want to be, not just as simple, like on UFC 3, there were a lot of things that felt disconnected. Like you would have so many times after you became a champion to have to do all this media stuff and all these other things, right? Like for example, you wouldn't be able to train for one of the 4 weeks that you bought in order to train for somebody at a gym, right? One of the weeks you have to do one of like a whole bunch of like photo shoots and interviews and stuff like that, but you never really actually get to see them or really interact with those choices that you make there. On here, it seems like it's going to be more in-depth. Like if there's actually a press conference between me and somebody else, I'll actually be able to talk and hype up the fight that way, not just through talking trash on tweets and stuff like that, because that was the way you promoted your fight there before. It was through social media and stuff and not too much physical confrontation. The UFC 3 trailer, when they were showing the cutscenes and stuff, it looked like you would be able to actually be in those, you know, press conferences and choose what to say and whatever. But when we got the full game, that wasn't the case at all. You could choose to respond to tweets a little bit more snarky, positively, or just kind of like an asshole, but you would only get a few choices or whatever. Here, it's a lot more in-depth. I won't say that it's perfect or anything, but it's definitely a step in the direction that at least, you know, will make the Requise story playthrough a lot more, you know, enjoyable. It feels like it has a lot more to it. I won't have to actually make up any actual rivalry with people or some bullshit story. Like, we can actually, if I want to have a problem and start beefing with somebody in the heavyweight division, if Stipe or someone wants to start talking all this shit, or Francis Ngannou or whoever, I can sit there and talk that shit in the press. If they give me an opportunity to be aggressive and have Requise assert himself, especially when a motherfucker is gonna sit there and get in his face, Requise ain't gonna back down. That ain't happening. You challenging the demigod! I want it to feel like real energy, so it's gonna be good. So the career thing, honestly, even if the multiplayer and like the online mode and stuff like that is all kind of meh, the very, very least now, we'll have a lot more context to the things and a lot more like, basically a lot more screen time for Requise, not just decapitating people, but he's actually interacting with people. It's gonna be great. I hope my character does not have a voice, because if they make Requise sound like a little bit, dude. Also, there's this weird misconception about Requise. People think that whenever I'm talking trash, they think that it's Requise saying the things that I'm saying. You guys have heard of The Undertaker, right? And how The Undertaker had that one manager guy that always followed him around, the little rat weirdo fuck. I'm like that guy. I'm attached to the demigod, and he just allows me to be on his side and be his hype man for him. Anything that I'm saying does not reflect what Requise is actually saying. I'm just explaining his story, and then he will intervene if he must. Seriously though, it's just all fun and games and all bullshit. Career mode will actually, you know, be really fun to see and expand on there. And also, I found out that, you know, looking onto the COD website anyway, looking at the swords that I mentioned there that I thought were gonna end up coming out this week or whatever, or this past Tuesday or anything like that, I thought that the swords were actually gonna be a skin for the sticks, but it turns out that the swords actually have completely different stats from the sticks and the knife. It's kind of like this middle ground where it swings faster than a knife, has more range than a knife, has more damage than the sticks, but less damage than the regular knife. It's like this weird middle ground. But the one thing that stands out as a big plus to actually using it is that the apparently the swords have more range than the sticks themselves. So that means we're gonna have like dual sword lunges that are further than the Kali stick lunges. I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna come out with the new season. The AN-94 and the sniper rifles or whatever the rumored items are. I mean, we'll know soon enough. I mean, we're gonna end up getting a teaser eventually or something. I don't know. Either Monday or, you know, over the weekend or something like that. We're gonna be able to see what's supposed to be coming for it. So I really do hope that there's a new sniper rifle again, though, to be honest. I'm not exactly happy about there being brand new weapons for me to have to get obsidian with, but, you know, if it's a sniper rifle, I probably won't mind at all. So yeah, I'm not gonna drag this on. I'm not gonna, you know, make it go any further than it needs to. So anyway, thank you guys so much for all the love and support on the videos. I appreciate it so much, and just sticking with me through everything that's going on. Life is, you know, it's 2020. Everyone's struggling in their own ways. So just thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And yeah, back to this grind.